Welcome to the Point of Difference Rugby League podcast. I'm your host Dave, and today we're going back in the day with one of Canterbury's finest. That's right, I'm here on the road. I'm here in Cromwell, an original warrior, played for the Kiwis, won a Challenge Cup. It's the one and only Whetu Taewa. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good, mate. Thanks for having us, and welcome to Central Otago.
Mate, my first time here. The fog, mate. What is with the fog? I've been to Cromwell today. We've come from Wanaka. There's nothing to see here. It's covered in fog.
It's population. It keeps the population down.
Right.
Yeah. Winters are cold and pretty dingy here, but summer's lovely and fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, mate. Because I've seen there's some pretty good running routes around here. Me and Trace love the running.
Yep.
Is there anywhere you could recommend nearby?
All over the place, actually. It's actually a good run up to Nevis.
Okay.
And great views up there.
Beautiful.
But you have to be pretty fit to get there.
Yeah. So how did you land in Cromwell, and also that will lead into where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where were you born? Yeah. And what's the short version of how you ended up in Cromwell?
Basically, my wife was born here. But she lived in Haast, and Cromwell was the closest hospital. So she's always been affiliated with Cromwell. And when we come back from England, she wanted to be closer to her parents, so she wanted to come here and see what it was like. Okay. And that was 22 years ago.
Right.
I'm still here.
Okay, so where were you originally born, and sort of where did you grow up, and where did that rugby and rugby league journey start?
Yeah, I was born in Invercargill. My parents moved from up north, Rotorua. My birth parents moved down to Invercargill for work. Okay. And when I was born, I was whangaid, which is adopted or fostered to a family member or friend. Okay. And pretty much moved straight to Christchurch from there. Right. Up until I moved to Greymouth and did my high schooling. Right. Okay. So yeah, my sort of early childhood was pretty colourful, to be fair. It's my family were associated with gangs and that sort of thing. Okay. So my early childhood wasn't normal. Wasn't the normal. I remember sort of parties and fights and car accidents and things like that. So, but moved to Greymouth, and it all changed.
Righto. So where did the rugby league journey start in Greymouth? Is that where it all began?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we moved to Greymouth to do my high schooling. I met a couple of guys here, Quinton and Brendan Pongia.
Oh yeah, at school. Heard of them.
Yeah. And they introduced me to rugby league. I didn't think much of it at the start. I thought it was a bit too stop-start, but yeah, so we would play rugby union on a Saturday, and then rugby league on a Sunday. Right. That's what we did until a certain age where I made the West Coast rugby union side at 16, and then the next year the rugby league side at 17. Okay. So once you get to that standard, you've got to choose between two. You can't do both. So I obviously went down the rugby league track. So was there any reason why you chose league over union? I enjoyed it more. Yeah. And probably I think I was going to go further because I was making rep sides and training squads and things like that in my age group. Yep. Cool, man. Cool. So it wasn't too long. You made the New Zealand under-17s training squad. How did it feel to be recognised and brought into a training camp like that? Yeah, in those days we had age group training camps in Hopu. Yes, that's up Waikato. Yeah, and they were great. They were brilliant. You'd get selected and then go up there and train in the Arbor camp. It was So that was the first. That was about the time I thought maybe I could do this as a profession. Okay. Be a rugby league professional. Okay. So so when I was young, I knew I had to train. So at school or before school, I'd get up and go for a run. run up Arnott's Heights in Greymouth every morning before school, and then after school we'd work at Fairley's, fruit and veggie, with Quinton, Brendan, and a few mates unloading trucks. So we were pretty quite active, and then we'd have trainings after that. So it's pretty full on.
Must be pretty special when you look back, mentioning Quinton Ponga, he's not with us anymore. Pretty fond memories of the guy. Like, how close were you guys coming through together?
Oh, yeah, pretty close. I spent most of my high schooling and early days in the workforce with Q. I pretty much lived at their place
really?
every second day. So, it was a good they were a good family. And you sort of, you hang around, you become the people you hang around with. So
absolutely.
They were high achievers. Brendan's probably a wee bit of a pretty boy, but Quinton was a bit rough around the edges. But it was they were good days, and I think that put me on the right path originally. Yeah.
Amazing. He's an absolute legend. It's a shame he's gone, mate. Just what a wonderful guy. I've heard nothing but amazing things about him.
Oh, he was incredible. Quinton was probably the hardest man I know. Like, not just physically, but mentally, he was tough.
Okay.
He was tough right to the end, and he was a good man.
Absolutely, mate. So 1988, you made the junior Kiwis. So how special is it to be picked for your first national rep honours and be, among the best players of your age group in the country?
Yeah, that was great. And I could, it was a year early for me as well. So I had another year after that in the junior Kiwis. But it was just being picked. That was the first time I'd been picked for a New Zealand side. So.
Yeah.
I was chuffed.
Is there any other names in that side that people might recognise that you played alongside?
Jared, I think Jared was in that side. Who else was in that side? Gee, I can't remember now. You put me on the spot.
She's going way back.
I've got a photo there.
So in 1989, things changed. Signed with the Halswell Hornets. How did you end up there? Did they chase you? Did you want to sign with them? Or did you have any affiliation with the club? How did the whole signing with the Hornets come around?
No, basically, Quinton came over the year before and played for Riccarton and did Polytech, but Gordon Smith come back from England.
Yes.
And become their player coach there, and I just followed him over, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So pretty awesome. Start playing club footy. Did you enjoy that? That new level, because it was a really strong competition back in the day. Was that something you genuinely loved once you got there?
Yeah, definitely. I moved there to further my career. I sort of had to. I moved over and moved in with Quinton and a couple of his Polytech mates, and there's 4 of us and 3 beds.
Yeah.
So
someone
had to miss out, but we didn't miss out because I would work during the day, come home, go to sleep, get out of bed, and one of the boys did night shift.
Okay. So
he'd come home in the morning and then jump into the bed. So
right.
It was nice and warm for him.
Oh, brilliant. So 1989, you're selected to go on the tour of Papua New Guinea with the junior Kiwis. How much of an eye-opener was that, and just that whole experience going to Papua New Guinea as a young fella?
A total eye-opener. For the juniors, we got billeted in those days, and you'd stay with expats like expat Kiwis and Aussies, and they'd live in houses with fences with barbed wire around the top and stuff. And but one place, I'm not too sure if it was Port Moresby or Lay, but me and Shane Tahuya from Christchurch.
Oh yeah, I know the name.
We got billeted with a local in their village. So we went back to their place, and they had a family of 4 kids and 2 adults, so there were 6 of them.
Yeah.
And a 1-bedroom house, so they slept in the bedroom, and me and Shane slept in the lounge on mattresses on the floor. And it wasn't. We didn't get much sleep.
No.
Because we could hear people around outside walking around, gibbering and talking, and we were just on edge really.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't go back. Nice people, lovely people, beautiful, and I like how they love the rugby league over there.
It is a religion over there.
Yeah,
it is absolutely crazy. So, like, just talking about that, like, so the fans, like, so the people you heard outside, were they just? Did they know you were there, or were they there for the fact you guys were footy players, or were they just, or was it just a scary neighbourhood?
It's probably normal to them, but it didn't feel normal to us.
I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, I love the Papua New Guinea stuff, mate. It's always funny. Right, so you made your debut for Canterbury under Frank Endicott. You played 7 matches during the season. So how special is it to represent Canterbury? Did you consider yourself a Cantab, or did your heart still belong to the coast?
Yeah, fair. Good question. I thoroughly enjoyed my time on the coast. I love the people over there. They are, what you see is what you get. They don't beat around the bush.
Nope.
So I enjoyed it, and it was a sort of a turning point in my life as a kid. So it was all fond memories. And Canterbury, I've spent most of my life in Canterbury, so I sort of see myself as a West Tabrian.
A West Tabrian, I like that. I've never heard that phrase before. I love it. Very cool. So, do you remember your debut for Canterbury? And was it the Canterbury side that got beaten by the coast? Is what I want to know. 20-14 by the Brent Stewart-led side.
Yes, it was.
Actually. It was. Yes.
It was the start of our sort of time together with Frankie and building that squad up.
Yep.
And yeah, it wasn't the best of starts, that's for sure. Especially coming from the coast and then going back and thinking,
They have a target on your head,
yeah, I'm not as much. I can't remember. I don't think so. But yeah, it got better after that.
Right. So Wigan Park got the better of you. Is that where it was played?
Wigan Park. That way. If it wasn't raining, it was heavy. The dugouts, there was no cover. The showers, if you didn't get in first, you get a cold shower.
Oh, brilliant. And obviously they had Brent Stewart leading the side. How tough was Brent Stewart to play against that?
Yeah, tough. The thing about the coast is they sort of grow an arm and a leg when they're at home.
Yep.
And you can't underestimate them over there, for sure. Yeah.
It's good to see the coast growing rugby league again. Got the Greyhounds, they're going all right. They've now got a couple of sides in the Canterbury Cup, so let's hope the growth continues.
Yeah. It's been disappointing seeing the decline in rugby league from back when we were there. It was really quite strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll put it down to it's a catch-22 really, because a lot of the players have got great opportunities now to go overseas and whatever at a young age, and that's great for them. But I think it depletes our local game at home.
Grassroots takes a pretty big hit.
Yeah, so it's a bit of. Yeah, I'm not too sure where to go to from there, really.
Well, he's hoping it just keeps growing, and you never know, we might get that NRL franchise one day, and that'll be a nice little pathway for South Island Rugby League. You never know.
I think we need it. I think we need a team in the competition. That'd be great. North Island, South Island.
It would be unreal.
Yeah,
that would be the best. I'm definitely on the side of the South Island if we get one.
Yeah.
Even though you're a former Warrior, right? Where would your heart lay? Just quietly, if you had to go north or south.
I don't know. What would you?
That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, no, I'm not too sure. I don't know. We'll wait till.
We'll park that. Yeah. All right. Okay. End of 1989 season. You're a shock selection for the Kiwis squad to the Tour of Britain and France. How big of a surprise was that for you, and what were your thoughts about going on tour?
The shock surprise. It's underestimated. That was incredible. It just coming out of left field. That I still pinch myself days after that. I think Ray Heft rang me up and told me before it was announced on TV, and I couldn't believe it. It was a dream come true. Probably a wee bit early for me, because I was 18, and I'd only been playing rugby league for like 4 or 5 years or seasons or something. So it was still, I was green, very green. So one minute I'm watching these guys on TV, my heroes, and then the next minute I'm lacing up next to them. What's
that like? It's like, you know, like you hear the stories, like exactly like that. And how do you deal with that, like in that moment as a player, and you're young and you're probably shitting yourself? What do you do?
You just get on with it. I was never prepped or told what to do, how to do, or what I need to do.
Yeah.
So you just get on with it. And,
those were the days. Here's your jersey, boy. Yeah. No special jersey presentation or anything. Just
no, there wasn't those days.
Chuck you a jersey and away you go.
Yeah. Get out there.
I love the old days. It's funny. So you didn't play any of the tests, but you played in 8 games. You scored 5 tries, including a double against Featherston Rovers. So how special is it to play in a Kiwi jersey, be among guys like your Darryl Williams, your Kurt Sorensens, you know, Toddy, Dean Bell? Like, we're talking legends, Gary Freeman. Like,
yeah, well, you got all these emotions at the same time, and you just get used to it really quickly.
Yeah.
It's nice to sit there in the change room with your jersey and then putting it on. Yeah. And then sitting next to your heroes, and then going out and singing the national anthem. Yeah. And then doing a haka.
Wow.
It doesn't get much better.
Yeah, especially like, you know, obviously your Māori heritage, and you know, how much pride does that fill you with to be able to perform a haka at the start of a match?
Oh, it's great. Probably a little bit nervous at the start because it was probably first time I've done a haka in that sort of situation. So but it was great. I love it now.
So in 1990, you played for Canterbury, beating the Touring Lions side 18-10 with a star-studded side with Wayne Wallace as captain. You had Harry and Wits in the halves. You had Mike Doreen, Logan Edwards, Simon Angel, Ron Samanu up front. Like, really good side. How good did it feel to beat a touring side with your Cantab mates that you've come through?
No, it was good. I think we'd been together for a couple of years then. So I think we got them at a pretty good time. They were just starting their tour, so, you know, one of their first games. Yep. So they were a little bit rusty, and I think we'd played a few games that year before, so we were running pretty good. We were, Frankie had us going pretty good by then. Yeah,
pretty amazing effort.
But, just another scalp.
Yeah. Knock off a touring line side, mate. That doesn't come easy. You know, no. Big boys come out of the UK.
Oh, they had good players too. They were great players.
Absolutely. And so moving on, 91, you played your first grand final for Halswell. You went down to Hornby, but what are your memories of taking on Hornby and, you know, your arch rivals in the comp? And like, they played in a period where you guys seemed to take on each other in finals all the time. So.
Yeah. To make any sort of final is great. It doesn't matter what competition, but that's what you're aiming for, is to make that grand final at the end of the year. And against Hornby, rivals. Yeah. But I think you got to lose one to win one. Okay. So you got to learn how to lose, what it feels like, and then what you have to do to win one. And I think we did a couple of years later. Yeah. But it was great. It was great for the community. I remember driving down from Halswell to the showgrounds and streamed all the streamers on the lampposts all the way down. It was incredible.
So cool, eh? Yeah. The community's really got behind local league.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We lost, but we made it, and I think that put us in good stead for the next one. Yeah,
absolutely. So 92, you played for the New Zealand Māori Pacific Cup side. So again, how important and amazing was it to represent your culture, your heritage, you know, at this particular tournament?
It was good. For me, it was because living in the South Island, and I wasn't really didn't really know my heritage as such, and so it was good for me to start learning a little bit of history and be proud Māori. So it was I love the camaraderie ship that we had. It's really quite close. It's like a wee small family. I enjoyed the Māori games.
Would you say it's actually things like that bring in like Māori youth or whatever, like Pacifica, that do actually start helping them learn and realise like where they've come from, their ancestry, and then that helps build the culture as a whole among your people?
Yeah, definitely. You're on track there. and for me, it was good to spark that reunite me with my heritage here.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
And that builds that like beautiful community among Māori or Pacifica. Like, I think that's amazing. Yeah, that rugby league can do that. That's so cool for for young people. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's good it was great for their confidence and so many things.
Yeah. So what were the rivalries like on the field? Samoa versus Tonga. You've got the Māori side as well. Like, there's some pretty good rivalry out there.
Oh, totally. I think the Pacific Cup was a great competition because it enabled you to come together as a community or as a team for your indigenous heritage and to play in a tournament against each other. It was brilliant. It was great. I really enjoyed that. And obviously, it doesn't quite work like that these days. But it's good.
Awesome, man.
Love that stuff.
Brilliant. So, 1993, a sensational year for you. Firstly, you did win your grand final for Halswell. How special was it to knock off Hornby in a close one?
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's the pinnacle of your club footies to win the grand final.
Yeah, man.
And against Hornby too.
Yeah.
Payback.
It's all that little bit sweeter, And obviously, you had the big game against Auckland. It was the last of your 37 games for Canterbury. The sensational great grand final victory, beating them 36-12. What was the build up to the game like? How did Frank get you guys so fired up to be so charged? Like, they were never in the game. Like, you guys absolutely wiped the floor with them.
No, and I think them changing their team for that last game, for putting all their overseas players in, sort of sparked us up a little bit as well.
Yeah,
they gave us a bit more to play for.
Yeah, they had some big names in there, man.
Yeah, and I think it just disrupted them, obviously quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a great game, great win.
It was, man. Like, you had Logan on fire. Buzzer was having a great game. Like, everyone played well. Brendan Tudor obviously absolutely killed it. On fire, like so good to watch.
And by that stage, we were playing really well as a team.
Yeah,
Frankie had us going good. I loved it.
Where does that rank in some of your achievements through your career? Because these days, provincial footy isn't as big as it was back then, which a lot of younger people probably don't understand. But how big was that back in 1993? Yeah,
it was huge. You think that they had like test players in their side and current Kiwi players, and for us, the underdogs, sort of nothing to lose really when they chucked these big players in. It was perfect send-off for me, I think.
Absolutely, mate. 37 games, phenomenal. So you actually won Canterbury Player of the Year for your contributions to club and rep sides, and then you earned a Kiwis call-up for the tour of Great Britain and France. How did that feel at the time, to be recognised for your contribution to Canterbury?
Yeah, it's I was honoured to get that award. I know rugby league's a team sport, so it's a lot of things that go your way, and it doesn't come down to one person. So I think it was a good year all round. I think for Canterbury. I was honoured.
Absolutely, and you got to go on and make your Test debut at centre, playing for the Kiwis against Wales. How special is it to receive that first official Test jersey? How did you find out you were making your debut? Obviously, what did it mean to wear the colours of your country? Yeah,
well, to be honest, it wasn't a Test at the start. It was just the first game of the tour.
Okay.
They didn't upgrade it to a Test till after the game.
That's right. That's right. Because when I did the research for this, it came up as an official Test, but I forgot it was changed years later.
Yeah. So we didn't actually know it was a Test.
Okay.
It was our first game on tour, but it was good to be selected in that first team because that was pretty much the start of Test team. So yeah.
Pretty amazing though, eh? Crossing for a try. How's that feel? How does it feel when you score a try in a big game like that?
It does. It's good. But as a centre, I get as much enjoyment and satisfaction as setting up my winger or someone else. And I think, but scoring yourself, you get your name on your paper. And that's about it.
That's what it's all about for the wingers, wingers and fullbacks and centres. That's why you play the game, burn that speed off and score that magical try.
Yeah. You take them while you can.
Absolutely.
It is a team sport.
Yep. And you played in all 3 tests against Britain. And although results didn't go your way, you're marking up against Jason Robinson, John Devereux, Jonathan Davis. Mate, that's like speed to burn in the backs. What's it like playing those guys, from the UK especially?
And over there, you're up against it, and they had a good side right across the paddock. We did struggle in those games, but it was good experience. And you say like those big names, it's you don't sort of go into a game thinking that someone's better than you or whatever. So
interesting.
You
just back yourself in.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. So, is there anything can you put your finger on what went wrong in that tour, like to come away with straight sets defeat essentially against the British Lions?
Yeah, I sort of can't remember too much, but they were better than us. Throughout the whole tour. So,
how tough is it playing away from home in the UK with the massive crowds that they get behind them?
It can be a wee bit daunting. I remember in Hull in '89, we walked into the field and you walked through a cage tunnel where it's all open, and you'd have fans above you yelling at you, spitting at you when you're walking out. It's quite daunting. But I love the crowds over there. The crowds are great.
They are wonderful. I love listening to them on TV, especially when you go back to the old days of Challenge Cups and finals and test matches, and they're enormous. Like, they're so loud. Like, that's unbelievable.
They have, I love them because they make up songs and chants and whatever, and they're very vocal. Yeah, it was great.
We need more of that in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Right, 1994, you signed a contract with the new Auckland Warriors side going into the 95 ARL competition. So for the 94 season, you moved to Auckland. You played for the Counties Manukau Heroes in their inaugural Lion Red Cup season. So how did you end up playing for the Heroes, and was there ever an opportunity to play for the Cardinals or the Shiners?
When I signed for the Warriors in 94, 93, whenever it was, John Money mentioned about moving up.
Okay.
And I thought that would be a good idea actually to move up a year early and to sort of get acclimatised with the area. Okay. Bought a house and moved up there, and it was a good year. It was a fun year at Kiwis Manukau.
You guys were great.
Yeah. I was development officer for south of Auckland as well. Okay. So I managed to get out into schools and stuff, and it was incredible the talent that was out there then, and I presume still now. Yeah. So I enjoyed my time in the Manukau Heroes. Absolutely.
16 tries in 23 games. How tough was it having a semi-professional provincial competition for the first time, juggling work and playing, or were you playing just full-time, or did you have to work at the same time?
Yeah, because I was development officer, I could structure things around. Okay. But we still had to train at night and that sort of stuff, and it was hard for the guys to work during the day, train at night, and then away on the weekends. Yeah, commitment. Yeah, big commitment. It was, totally.
Do you think that's why maybe we don't have a provincial comp anymore because of things like that?
I don't know. I think the cost might have been quite a bit too.
It was up there.
Yeah, travelling and hotels and that sort of thing. But it was a good competition.
I would love to see a provincial comp come back. Even like 10 teams or 8 strong, just something, just something that we've got that next level for grassroots to go to. It'd be fantastic. Right, so you went all the way to the grand final for the Heroes. You took on the North Harbour Sea Eagles. Unfortunately, you went down in the final after pretty much dominating the whole season. So was that a bit of a frustrating end for your time there?
It was, because it was my last game. It would have been nice to finish on a high, obviously, but I think the finals is a bit of a mindset. I think the team that's best mentally prepared, I think, there's a better chance of coming out on top. And North Harbour, they didn't panic, and they played a good game. It might have been maybe a little bit tough for us to back up after for the long season.
Yeah. Right, so let's have a chat about your Warriors days. How did the Warriors contract come about? Who approached you? And what did they offer you to sign with the club? And was it an easy or hard decision to sign with this brand new franchise?
Yeah, it was an easy decision. Obviously, there was Warriors fever at the start of the year, but I signed for 15k.
Okay.
15k with bonuses. Played 5 games, another $5,000, and then another $5,000 on another 5 games.
Yeah.
So to put it in perspective, Andy Platt's dogs cost $22,000 to get them over from England. So I was just under the dogs in the pecking order.
Oh my God. That's rough.
That was obviously before Super League came along.
Yeah.
Which pretty much ruined the game for a while.
Yeah, it did. So, that's so funny. So, did they approach you to sign with the Warriors, or was how did you get approached by the Warriors to sign? I'm just curious to know.
So Moni come down one weekend and was watching us play. I think it might have been a club day at the showgrounds.
Okay.
Anyway, I think he signed 3 or 4 of us up at the same time, sort of thing.
Okay.
But it would have played for nothing, to be fair.
Yeah. Pretty special, eh?
Yeah.
First ever Kiwi side in the Aussie Cup.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So before the 95 season kicked off, you went on the 94 tour of Papua New Guinea. Again, how crazy was that experience? What were the grounds like to play on? What's it like to take on the Kumals and tour around Papua New Guinea? And mate, it must have been epic. Yeah,
it's an experience. The grounds were rock hard. And I remember that particular tour, Reggie got a blister on his foot and it didn't get any better, so he ended up getting jabs to play.
Oh,
yeah, it was terrible. But, it's great. It's a good experience because you get to see another nation and you see their fans are just so patriotic. They walk for miles to get to the games.
Yeah. Just from villages from far away.
Yeah. It was daunting. I think we had a tear gas incident in one of the games there. It was a little bit daunting, very daunting, especially when we're getting tear gas in your eyes and think, oh, this ain't good.
Crazy. Did the game carry on?
I think it stopped.
That one stopped?
I think it stopped. I'm not too sure. I can't remember if we started again or not.
Okay. And what's it like being out in the middle of the field and you look around, there's people hanging out of trees and there's guard dogs and military people and what's that like, man?
We were prepped on to what to expect, so it wasn't too bad. But it was an experience.
An absolute experience.
Never forget.
Oh, that's amazing. So, do you wish current day players would get the opportunity to go to a place like Papua New Guinea?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And even the tours, the long tours. Like we went to Great Britain and France. We were away for 2 months at a time. It was incredible. But I loved touring because you had the chance to eat, breathe, play rugby league for 24/7.
Yeah.
So you don't get that chance at home, and you probably get a little bit complacent being at home. And I sort of look at the Warriors when they're in some of their home games, and they I don't know, could be a little bit complacent being at home. But when they're out, when they're playing away, you play better because I think you're in a team environment.
Yeah.
Just you're switched on from the time you turn up at the airport.
I guess you've only got each other, so you get close, you bond.
Yeah.
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 Brilliant. Awesome, man. Right, so back to the Warriors. What was it like to turn up on your first day of training in this brand new side? Dean Bell's the captain. You've got Dwayne Mann, Tia Ropati, Sean Hoppy. Like the list goes on. What are your memories of those first moments of the Warriors' existence when you're in training for the first time?
But well, to be fair, coming up a year earlier put me in good stead for the start of the season.
Okay.
Because we'd obviously catch up before the season starts and that sort of thing, promotions and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was already familiar with everyone, whatever. But yeah, it was pretty much pre-season, so it's straight into fitness and whatever.
Was it a cool environment? Was there a bit of a buzz? All these new players having to gel together that haven't spent time together, especially when all the import guys come in.
Totally, and it was the first time for a lot of us that it was training in these facilities.
Yeah.
And I remember those days you turn up to training and you'd have 100 things to sign.
Yep.
But then we'd be given, you name it, you'd be given it watches, glasses, hats, shoes, like everything. It was incredible. So it was a luxury at the start.
Pretty cool though, eh? When you must sit back and actually reminisce back to that, like those initial baby steps for the Warriors to become the team they are now.
Yeah.
Like, when you look back, it's been a long time.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It was in those days we would fly all over New Zealand and do promotions and whatever.
Amazing.
And the whole place was buzzing. And
I remember because I was 11 when the Warriors kicked off that first game. I was 11, and I just remember it was all over the TV because we had 3 channels on TV back then, 1, 2, and 3. And that's all there was on TV. It was just Warriors everywhere. It was amazing,
Yeah. Most people you talk to will know or tell you where they were on that first game. So that's a sort of indication of how what an impact it's done on New Zealand sport.
And I think I've heard Dean Bell say something like, I think he's had about 50,000 people tell him they were at that first game. I think there was a lot more people telling Porkies than they willing to admit. But I'm a day oneer. That's what everyone says. Oh, mate, that's so cool. So what was John Momi like as a coach? What did he get you guys to do to bond and gel? Because it's pretty hard putting a brand new side together with so many different personalities. There's nothing to just build on. You've got to start from scratch.
Oh, yeah. John was quite a very knowledgeable coach on the game, and I learned quite a lot from John. Although it sort of scared you into playing, really. Like you go into a video session after a game thinking, I'll play right, whatever, and then you'd come out dejected and beat up, and you think, I didn't play that well after all. Okay.
Was there ever a focus on positivity?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. If you won, team bonding comes within as well. Within the team and the guys and whatever. So yeah, we all knew each other and we all got on pretty good. And it was good to have the young fellas training as well.
Yeah. And just quickly, what's Dean Bell like as a captain? The inaugural captain. He'd done everything in the UK, won 1 billion Challenge Cups and done it all. How special is it to have that one season where you got Dean Bell as your leader?
For me, it was special because Dean has always been a hero of mine. Yeah. And I got the chance to play against him and play with him.
Amazing.
So yeah, definitely, and the perfect man for the job.
Amazing, I love it. So let's talk about that first match. When did you find out you were being selected and you'd be marking Willie Kahn, Broncos speedster?
Yeah, I can't remember the actual when it was, but I remember John putting me aside and telling me that I was going to start in the first game, and it was incredible.
How did that make you feel, man?
Yeah, it makes it all worthwhile in the end, and it didn't matter what you're getting paid or what it was, and that was special time, special.
Okay,
special.
So you're in the tunnel, you can hear the crowd on the other side. There's probably announcers talking in the stadium. There's drums, there's fire, there's everything. You're standing in the tunnel, you're about to run out. Do you remember what you're thinking, or the electric energy amongst the team? Like, what's that moment like?
Yeah, it was a special moment. I don't like, even before the game. The atmosphere was, you couldn't cut it with a knife. It was, you didn't even have to say anything. We didn't have to talk or gee each other up, because it was there time. Like, it's been years in the making.
Yeah.
And then going through the tunnel, and you can hear the noise, and it give you your hairs on your back stand up. Oh,
yeah, man.
It was incredible. Yeah. Probably a wee bit overboard when you look at it now.
Yeah, that's the 90s, man. That's what we did.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but once we got into it, it was you got past all that sort of hype and
switch on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Broncos came out firing. You guys were down early, but then that magical play, the backline shift, comes out to your wing. You make the break, and then just as we think it's all over, you throw that incredible pass back to Phil Blake, who scores the first Warriors try. But you set it up, mate.
So the Warriors now with Alexander calling the tune. Taewa comes inside. Oh, great ball! Blake, Phil Blake, he gets the try.
Like, can you walk us through that moment? Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, I vaguely remember Manoa getting on the outside of his man, and he had great ball skills, Manoa, and getting the ball away to me, and I just got on the outside of Willie Kahn, and then stepped inside, and I thought I was going to make it, but then obviously Willie dragged me down. I thought that was it. I was going to go down, and then sort of turned, and then Blakey was there, so I got the ball to him, and he caught it with one hand.
Yep.
And
history was made.
Yeah, and then boom.
Dude, that's one of the great Warriors tries, in my opinion, of all time, but let alone the first one. How good's it having a guy like Phil Blake in support, like a speedster? He could do it all, a legend of the game.
Yeah, that was his game. He backed up. He was always going to be there.
Yeah.
Try scorer. And one of the older players in the side. So, yeah.
Such a special moment. Value. Such a special moment. Oh, it's so amazing to have you here, man. I like to have the original Warriors first try set up fella on the couch. It's very cool. So, it's obviously one of the more iconic moments, I think, in Warriors history. Like, do you look back on that and just smile sometimes when you remember that moment?
I see it pop up once in a while, and it's it was good to hear your name being called, and like you said, it was a very iconic moment. And they usually play it at the start of any sort of broadcasting of when the Warriors started.
Yeah. Now, there's one question off the top of my head. Willie Kahn scored a try, and his knee
he didn't.
Definitely went out, I think.
If that was scored this day and age, he would have been out.
Yeah, but they gave it.
They gave it to him.
Cost you the game.
It was. Also, Lanya put a kick up to me. I jumped in the air. Willie Kahn hit me or tackled me in the air for a start. It was late, and also in the air, so that should have been. He should have been sent off.
Yeah, and nothing called.
No.
Those are the days.
I should get over it. But,
but you won't.
No.
Take that one to your grave, mate. Yeah. No, every time I just remember seeing all you guys pointing to the touchline on the replay, and there's Bill Halligan points to the spot, or whoever it was who was the ref. Was it Bill Harrigan?
I'm not too sure.
No, I can't remember, honestly. But I just remember they pointed to the spot, they awarded the try, and then obviously you guys got up. You got quite up pretty far. Tupi scored, and then Teodoro scored, and thinking, oh man, this is on.
And then
Alfie
just
unreal.
Turned a screw.
Oh, he did what he does, but still, pretty solid start for the Warriors. Were you guys dejected, or how did you feel after the game? Because you gave the Broncos a pretty big touch up there. You nearly beat them.
I think it was more relief that the game was over. Actually, okay. We got that out of the way, and we didn't disgrace ourselves.
No, not at all.
But it was a game that we let slip.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones that coulda, shoulda, woulda, but unfortunately.
That would have been great to start off with a
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you played 10 rounds straight and then one further game off the bench, but then you kind of fell out of favour with John Mooney. So was there any particular reason he wasn't picking you for the rest of the season?
No, not as such. He's pretty upfront, John. He set me aside and pretty much told me I didn't feature in his plans.
Okay.
And to look elsewhere or whatever. So, yeah, I respected that. So, yeah, just played the rest of the season out in reserve grade and a couple of appearances off the bench.
Yeah.
For the first team.
Bit of a pill to swallow after being a part of those opening half of the season where you guys were playing some great footy.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was. It didn't help that this guy called John Kerwin came along then too. So
yes,
yeah, it didn't help me. Yeah, I was actually devastated. It's the first time in my career that I'd actually been dropped.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't too chuffed about that at all.
No, I'm not surprised, but that led you to playing in the reserve squad, and you also earned a Kiwis call up for your final test against France. So, did you expect it to be picked coming from reserve grade, or so was it quite a special test cap for you?
Yeah, not at all. It was a surprise for me. I thought they'd already played Aussie, I think, that year before, same year. So it was a surprise, but obviously an honour.
Yeah.
To get back in there again, and it gives you a bit of confidence in that as well.
Yeah.
To perform better and whatever.
Exactly, and so did that sort of lead to you getting picked up by the North Queensland Cowboys? Like, how did you end up signing with them? And was it a tough decision? I guess it wasn't a tough decision to leave the Warriors after being told you're out of the plans.
Yeah. You don't want to be somewhere where you're not wanted.
Okay.
But it was the first time I heard anything of it was a reporter rang me up.
Oh, really?
And said, did I want to comment about my signing with the Cowboys? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? Yeah. You didn't know?
No.
Had your manager set it up? Or?
No. Well, I didn't have a manager at that
day,
so But yeah, I was a bit pissed off about it because there's obviously things going on behind the scenes.
Right.
And when there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay.
And sure enough, Graham Lowe rang me up and said that him and Mark Graham were going to coaching the Cowboys.
That's right.
And if it wasn't for Mark Graham and Graham Lowe, I wouldn't have went.
Okay.
But yeah, two legends.
Yeah, so, pretty hard to say no. Yeah. Absolutely. So you played 12 games in a pretty tough year for the Cowboys. Was it hard being in a side that struggled for results? Especially living in a place that's so hot like North Queensland after living in, West Coast Canterbury. It's a lot cooler. Auckland's still pretty cold in winter. So how did you feel going up there?
Yeah, it was a climate change for me. But you get used to the heat, to be honest.
Okay.
And they play the games at night.
True.
So it's not too bad. It's a bit of an advantage for them.
Yes.
But I enjoyed my time there, but it was tough. Tough performances, and personally, I struggled as well.
Yeah.
In and out of the first team.
Yes.
And it didn't help that Graham Lowe was crook that year as well, so he didn't actually do much coaching.
Okay.
He was in hospital.
That's right.
For quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
But Mark Graham was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a legend, another hero of mine too.
What's it like being coached by Mark Graham? I love Mark Graham. He's such a good bloke. I was very honoured to do a podcast with him, and I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. Like Mark Graham. So you've been coached by probably our greatest player. How does that feel?
Yeah, that was great. I think he was chucked in the deep end to take over the coaching when Graham Lowe was crook, but it was a tough year. We struggled for wins.
Okay, yeah, tough old days, for the Cowboys. And you would have played with Adrian Vowles would have been captain.
Yeah, Vowlesy, yep.
Yeah, he's a great man.
Yeah.
What are your memories of Adrian?
Oh, he was good. He obviously played State of Origin.
Yeah.
And and then obviously the club captain, and also ended up in England when I was over there as well.
Yeah, he's man of steel for Castleford.
Yeah,
Absolute legend of a bloke.
Yeah. And deserved it too. Like, he was a great player.
Yeah, I think he's one of those ones that just aged like a fine wine. He just got better and better, like the more his career went on. And who knew, you know? He was just a top bloke. You know?
Yeah, he was a good bloke. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Still keep in touch with him. He's still an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you played 2 more tests for the New Zealand Māoris, getting wins over Papua New Guinea and Great Britain. Was it pretty awesome to put on the Māori jersey again and then play along one of the more unsung heroes that I love to bits, Sonny Whakaro. He's really passionate about rugby league and he's still refereeing. And what's it like to play alongside guys like him and represent your culture together?
Yeah, that was great. It was good for me at that time to go back, and it was almost like reconnecting, because after a pretty average year with the Cowboys and that, and then to get back into the Māori side and play with the likes of Sonny and the likes, sort of rebooted my enthusiasm in my game, sort of thing.
Okay.
After pretty average year.
Yeah.
And a couple of good wins.
Man.
Great Britain and the Coomals. Yeah, it was
pretty unlikely to beat the Great Britain side. They had a really good side.
Totally. But and that's what can happen in an indigenous game like that.
Yeah.
They can play for the team, and like I said, it's like a family.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So you signed with the Sheffield Eagles, mate, in the UK Super League. So for the 97-98 seasons, how did the contract to go to Sheffield Eagles of all places come about? And what were your thoughts about heading over to England?
Wow. We left. There's a few of us that left Townsville for the UK. Obviously, there was they get a list of who's coming, who's available, whatever, and you negotiate with whoever. But I could have stayed at the Cowboys, because Shenzi was the new coach that year, but he wanted to turn me into a forward.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty much like Rubes. But
okay.
I wasn't too keen on that.
To the back row, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't too keen on that. My back for sure. Well, I think I was. But ended up over there. So we left. We pretty much left Townsville and flew to Manchester.
Okay.
So I left Townsville at 35 degrees or whatever. Landed in Manchester, snowing -2 degrees.
Oh, there's a shock for you. Reality.
It was tough. It was tough at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we were playing in the winter then too. So it was just before they changed over to the summer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was tough.
Far out, man. Did the whole Super League war affect you in any way? Like, did that help you get over to the UK with Super League, or like, because that affected a lot of people? Yeah.
So in when I was at the Warriors, when Super League turned up, to say, we went one day. We went to John Money's house.
Okay.
It was all under the table stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe. Like, you think back now, you think there's no way it would happen.
Okay.
It would just turn up. I think it was Lachlan Murdoch. Lachlan Murdoch was negotiating contracts for us to sign for Super League, and like we're there by ourselves, didn't have our managers or anyone with us, and basically told, you sign or you'll miss out.
Okay.
So but then the contracts, the only positive side of to the Super League was that the players started getting paid.
Yeah. Fully professional.
Yeah.
Good money.
Yeah. So my contract tenfolded. So I went from 15 grand to 150 grand.
So were you still with the Warriors at that point?
Yeah.
Signed Super League with the Warriors?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in 95. And that was early 95 too.
Yeah.
But then, so you'd be there with the checkbook, So you'd say, oh yeah, I'll give you 150 grand.
Just like that.
So and then you'll write out a cheque for 25 grand and go, oh, if you sign now, I'll give you that.
Go buy your missus something nice on the way home.
Yes. So I'm on $15,000 contract.
Say no.
Yeah, and he's giving me a cheque, being 25, and like, yeah, no.
It's a no-brainer.
So I snatched it out of his hands. And,
oh, mate, the Super League War stories are unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then you get guys signing for both and taking the cheques. Yeah, it was crazy.
Unbelievable. So essentially you were signed with Super League, but you could still move clubs like
so
you did
whatever,
to the Cowboys.
You sign for 3 years or whatever, but that contract will just move on to the next club.
Okay. But you were contracted to Super League.
Yeah.
And that's how you were able to go to Sheffield?
Whatever.
Sort of under that
they were. They still ended up paying a percentage of the contract or whatever,
Okay, so you mentioned the conditions, they were pretty rough, it was like playing or training in snow or freezing conditions or anything like that, pretty tough.
Oh, totally tough. I remember one game we had to postpone the game and shovel the snow off all the lines, dead ball lines and out lines, and it was incredible. I'm thinking, do we really want to play in there? We ended up playing, but yeah, it was tough.
Oh, mate, that's rough.
But you get used to it. It's
just hard enough for the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Straight in the bath afterwards.
Baths, they love the baths over there.
They do.
All infected and whatever, and scrapes and toe jams and. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds delicious. So what's it like being a Kiwi walking into a UK club? Did the team and fans embrace you? Like, did they do any big promotion as a new signing, or was it just in there under the radar? What was it like?
Yeah, a little bit under the radar. It was good. The Palms are good. They tell it like it is, and if you didn't perform, fans will
let you know.
The fans would definitely let you know. It was daunting, but once you're on the good side of them, it's fantastic.
They adore their fans, and they adore them, don't they? Yeah, man. So did you enjoy the style of play? Because I've talked to plenty of people who played in the Super League. It's a lot faster style back in the 90s, maybe not as defensively structured, but the attack was there, so that would have probably suited you, right?
Yeah, you got a bit more free reign, I think.
Yeah.
Not so structured, and you could probably do a little bit more individually.
Yeah. Okay.
And like the collisions were still there.
Yeah.
And I like the physicality of the game.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the footy over there.
So
style.
Compare that to today's game where, like you said, you had more individual moments back then. The teams are very much, you stay in your lane, you do it's a team game. There's not as much individual brilliance like we saw back in the day,
No, you're right.
What are your thoughts about that? Because the game to me is still an amazing product now. I love it because they've sped it up.
Yeah.
So people get tired, so there's tries, but people don't take as many risks like the old days.
No, and there's less sort of one-inch freight moments, I suppose. I'd say. The big boys in the collisions and the wee bit of biff and whatever. But like you said, I enjoy watching the games these days. It's for the spectators. It's great.
Yeah, I still watch pretty much every game.
Yeah,
I love it, because the game's quick. So there's lots of points now. There's some really good high-scoring games, which we know the game's based on defence, but I love watching tries, man.
Yeah,
I love watching tries.
I don't know what they do these days. I don't know if they teach them how to fly or whatever. But in my day, I was told to catch two hands, place it down. And score. These days,
one hand, whole body out of the field of play, put the ball down inside the dead ball. It's crazy.
They're incredible, yeah.
Incredible. Xavier Coates, he's got to be one of the best finishers, right? That try he scored against the Warriors last year, I think it was round 2 or 3. That was ridiculous. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I don't know how he did it.
Don't know. Right, 97 wasn't the greatest season for your first year in the Super League. But 1998 has one of the biggest fairy tale stories of all time in the Challenge Cup. Sheffield Eagles, they go through the They get to the semi-final. You knock out the Salford Reds. Had Aseni and Joe Famala, and I had Josh White on the podcast a few days ago. He was in that game, the halfback. They thought they were going all right, and then you guys come out of nowhere, knock them over. You guys are going to Wembley, like. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had a pretty good run, and Salford was our hardest game leading up to the final. But I just remember wondering what's this hype about the Challenge Cup.
Okay.
I thought it was just another cup, like you have a Yorkshire Cup, a Lancashire Cup, and all little side things. But once they explained to us about the whole Challenge Cup thing, it started to sink in how important it was, and didn't know until we actually got there as well.
Yeah.
Walking out on the field, but the thing we did do, because so many of us have not experienced Challenge Cup or whatever. We walked through from start to finish. So when we walked off the bus, we'd pretty much do the same as what we're going to do the next day at the game. And we walked through into the change rooms and have a look at the change rooms, and then do our walk out to the field and visualise 60,000, 70,000 people there, lining up, what's going to happen after the game, walk up the stairs to get the trophy. And like for me, a final is like a mindset. It's the way you mentally prepare, and we did prepare. And the thing about it was we believed in ourselves. We believed that we were going to win.
Amazing.
And Sheffield wasn't a big club by any means.
No.
It was a true David and Goliath.
You're taking on the giants of Wigan. Like, how do you get up? You've got Dennis Betts, Jason Robinson, was it Henry Paul? Henry Paul. Mate,
and Andy Farrell.
Andy Farrell. What a side.
But you don't look at it that way. You just look at it two teams in the final, and anything can happen in the final.
Absolutely. So, what was the build-up like? Did you experience any fanfare before the game? Like fans coming out? Did you have any big signing days and fans getting amongst the team and promotions? Like did it really build up to that big day? Because we just don't know what that's like in the NRL.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think we pretty played it low key.
Very low key.
And obviously going in as the underdogs, which is incredible. I couldn't believe the odds on us to win that final in a 2-horse race.
What were the odds?
I think when we were at the semi-final stage, it was 11-1 to win the final.
Okay.
And I think we put some team funds on that.
Yeah.
Won some money, which was fun. And then I think on the day it was something like 5-1 or something.
Okay. Which
is on the 2-horse race. It's
for a final.
Yeah.
That's very juicy odds.
Yeah. Yeah, very. So we sort of went into the game under the radar sort of thing.
Right. Okay, so the day of the final arrives, you run out in front of 60,000 people at Wembley. What do you remember? You run out on the field, the crowd's going apeshit, possibly your last chance to walk away with a massive trophy in your career. We're going to have an amazing side. You've defied the odds. Like, that whole moment, do you just look around and it's kind of like that first Warriors match? Is it another moment like that where you're just like, wow, this is next level?
We tried to prepare ourselves, but when you're walking out and you look at the crowd, it's amazing. Yeah, it's just thousands of people, and a lot of the crowd were rooting for us, underdogs. Yep. Because it's an occasion, so you get Rugby League fans from everywhere coming to the game. So we had a lot of support. Yeah, I bet you did. So Nick Pickney scores the first try right next to you in the corner off a beautiful crossfield bomb. You go ballistic with excitement. The whole team's going crazy. Did you feel like you were in control of the game at that point and sort of through the game? Because Wigan never really got close. Yeah. I can't remember exactly at the time, but looking at it, the game now, we did look like we were controlling the game well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just such because I had to go back and watch it, obviously in preparation for the podcast, but just it gave me chills, man, watching it, because it's such the David and Goliath battle that I was just thinking, how did that happen? Like, I love a fairy tale in sport, and this is, to me, is one of the great ones. It's just incredible, and not only do you guys get the tries, your goal kickers whacking them over from the sideline, you knock a field goal over just to sort of stick the knife in before half time, and I don't think it could have gone any more perfect for you guys.
No, we did well. We played very well. It's hard these days. I'm thinking that I don't think that would probably happen again, and I wouldn't be. Yeah, it'd be quite nice to see a movie or something made of. It's got that sort of.
It's got that remember the Titans feel about it. Oh mate, it's fantastic. So Darren Turner scored the final try for Sheffield in the second half, becoming a hero. You guys hang on for one of the biggest wins. What's it like when you get up on the podium and you lift the Challenge Cup and the crowd's going mental, and you're just Whetu Taewa from the West Coast, and all of a sudden you're now in the spotlight. How did that feel, especially later in your career?
Yeah, no, that was brilliant. And when we sort of, like I said earlier, we visualised it, walking up the steps to grab the trophy, and just walking up there and seeing people, and it was such a buzz. It was, and for us that have never experienced it or didn't actually know what it was about, it was something new and exciting, and obviously never forget.
So special, man. One of the great fairy tales. I love it. So you rounded off your career playing for Hull KR. So how did you move to Hull KR, and what are some of the memories of playing? So you dropped down a level,
the second division,
So was there a chance to stay at Sheffield, or was it just a case of time to move on?
Yeah, it was time to move on. And I wanted to go to a team, a rugby league town, which Hull was, or Hull. Obviously, got two teams here.
Yes.
Hull FC and Hull KR, and bitter rivals, East versus West, sort of thing. And a couple of players, the Sheffield team went there as well. Nick Pinkley was another one.
Okay.
So yeah, and I loved it there. I actually loved Hull and actually playing for Hull KR, because their fans were fanatical.
Okay. Loyal.
Yeah.
Even though you're second division,
Yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah. And now they're going brilliant.
Yeah.
They're on top of the first division there now. So,
how amazing is that?
Yeah. It's good to see.
Were you kind of part of that revival, getting them back up into top tier?
I'd like to think so. I was a development officer there as well. So
okay.
We'd identify kids and stuff, and have a development program. And I see some of the kids coming through and whatever. So it's I like to think that I had a little bit of an influence on the club going forward.
Amazing, man. That's so cool that you put that time in to help and leave something behind. So and obviously that rounded off your career in playing in the Super League. And when did you know it was time to hang up the boots and come home?
I think the first time was when I struggled to get motivated to train.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, that's not good. And so I made the decision that if I wasn't going to train as hard as I could, I shouldn't be playing.
Okay.
And I didn't want to play on forever and ever and then be remembered for my last game or last season. So, yeah, I probably finished a wee bit earlier than I wanted to, but... I helped assistant coach the next year.
Okay.
Of Hull KR. But then, after that, we went home.
How did it feel when you'd given away the game in all forms, and you're just like, now what do I do with myself?
Pretty much.
After so many years of playing, what do you go through?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I was development officer and assistant coach there, which was okay, but it just sort of wasn't. I sort of had the inkling of coming home, and then we had a friend that was dying of cancer, so that was that was a decision that we wanted to come home.
Okay.
Or else I would have been happy to live there for forever.
So obviously, you came back with your partner, your wife, and back to New Zealand. And so, just to round off, what did you do with yourself, and what are you currently doing now?
I'm a builder. It was. I got home and I thought, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And then. Because all through my career, development, being a development officer and stuff, I'd always tell the kids after footy or get set up before or during, because after footy, footy doesn't last forever, and you need something to fall back on. And then I find myself in that position. Yep. What am I going to do now? So I did an adult apprenticeship in building, and
Still hammering away, mate.
Still enjoy it, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I'm getting a bit old now. Starting to.
All right, man. Let's finish with a few fun questions I ask everyone. What NRL club do you support?
Warriors, of course.
Of course.
And I keep an eye on the Cowboys as well.
Of course you do. Absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, so what's your favourite movie or TV show?
Hard one because I don't have TV.
Yeah, true.
But I thought maybe a movie. I enjoyed The Shawshank Redemption.
Everyone loves that movie
because I didn't. When I watched it, it wasn't a box office movie or whatever. I just turned it on and watched it one day, and I was pleasantly surprised how good it was.
It's very good, isn't it? How good. I always love a good jail escape.
Yeah.
They're great. Yeah. All right, man. Last one. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It's a seafood buffet.
Seafood buffet.
Seafood buffet.
Beautiful.
Crayfish, oysters, mussels.
Love mussels.
Power, fish, kina. Yeah.
The works. Absolutely.
The works.
Wonderful, man. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for bringing me into your home. This is a real special day for me. It's an honour and a privilege to do this and meet you and, see these amazing jerseys from your career and, really special. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast and allowing me to do this. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Dave. I enjoy your podcast and I look forward to more down the track.
Yeah, man, there'll be more for sure.
Brilliant.
All right, man. Well, thank you everyone for watching. This has been the one and only Whetu Taewa. I've been your host, Dave. We've been back in the day, and we'll see you guys next time for kickoff.
Full time.